Good evening. First tonight, the almost unbelievable scenes out of Paris, where the city's famed Notre Dame Cathedral has been ravaged by fire. The devastating blaze all but destroyed the Gothic masterpiece, which dates back to the 12th century. And as hundreds of years of history went up in flames, the people of Paris could do little but watch and pray.
A jewel of Paris, a monument of civilization, 850 years of history on fire.
And Hugh Whitfeld is in Paris for us tonight. Hugh, people from around the world are being asked to help rebuild Notre Dame.
Daniel, the French president has declared this a national emergency and in the next few hours will appeal to the globe for money and professional skills to help rebuild a building that is one of France's most loved, a building that is loved the world over. Already 2 billionaires have offered 300 million euros combined. That's nearly $500 million Australian dollars to help kickstart the campaign. This 12th century masterpiece from an unplanned demolition. Dan.
OK, thanks Hugh. Well, both federal leaders have pledged not to increase taxes on superannuation during a campaign blitz across the nation.
Knowing he's a bit behind the 8 ball, Scott Morrison lines up the grey vote.
No.
In the marginal seat of leaving Scott Morrison thinking he
Here we go! Oh!
has hit the target.
I'm not bowling another ball.
Now, Mark, you've got the details on the first leaders' debate.
Daniel, the parties have agreed today to the first leaders' debate for this election campaign. That will be in Perth on Monday week, April 29. It will be hosted by 7 News and the West Australian, and I will moderate that debate. The first time voters will have a chance to size up the leaders one-on-one, an important moment in this election campaign. Daniel?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. Well, the surviving children of Australia's most notorious jihadists have been reunited with their grandmother in Syria, and she wants them back.
A reunion 5 years in the making. The 3 surviving children of IS terrorist Khalid Sharoof back with their grandmother, 58-year-old Karen Nettleton. Chris Reason, 7 News.
A 55-year-old woman has been killed instantly when a truck slammed into her car on a Perth highway. She was making a standard right-hand turn when a prime mover towing a semi-trailer sped through the intersection. The impact sent the sedan skidding 200 metres along the road. The 46-year-old truckie, who wasn't hurt, has been charged with dangerous driving, causing death. A spooked camel at an Easter carnival has sent a young boy flying and left his mother with neck and leg injuries.
Mid-morning at the Moore Park Easter show, and this happens.
Oh no!
Cameron Price, 7 News.
A flying student learnt a very valuable lesson this morning: how to make an emergency landing. The plane from a Wollongong flying school was mid-flight when the pilot was forced to make a mayday call before bringing the aircraft down safely in a field. Both the teacher and his student walked away unhurt. Banned Dragon star and accused rapist Jack de Belin may be the one challenging the NRL's new no-fault stand-down rule in court, but it was the Code's boss who was the star witness today.
The rugby league boss came to court today to face questions over the tough stance on player misconduct.
Look, the game's got to defend its position. We're doing that.
Like introducing its new no-fault policy.
Plenty more to come in its Prime7 News Hour, including the amazing human heart that's been created in a 3D printer. Also, centimetres from death, a driver's car crash horror, and caught on camera. The bright spark sent running after tangling with a live power cable. A North Korean defector who made a dramatic dash to freedom in a hail of bullets has spoken for the first time. Oh Chong-song made headlines in 2017 after his daring escape across one of the world's most dangerous borders. The former soldier says it's a miracle he's still alive, but he doesn't blame his comrades for shooting at him. A driver has had a remarkable escape after his car became crushed between 2 trucks on a Brazilian highway. Video shows the moment other motorists rushed in to inspect the mangled wreck, discovering the 35-year-old was still alive. He's now recovering in hospital with just a fractured pelvis and broken leg. A New Jersey utility worker's had the fright of his life when a fallen power line erupted into a fireball, setting the ground ablaze. The man was working to remove the wire when it exploded. forcing him to flee. And if it didn't, well, the flame shot out you can see there. Luckily, he escaped the terrifying ordeal without serious injuries. Well, what a story. Scientists have printed the world's first 3D human heart from a patient's own tissue. Researchers hope it'll mean that they'll be able to make organs for transplant within a decade.
It's not beating yet, but scientists say this is the future of organ transplants.
So this is the first time that the whole heart with the blood vessels and cells is printed.
It's amazing stuff, isn't it? Sports on the way, including the latest in rugby league. And with the shock retirement of Greg English yesterday, talk turns to who will wear the captain's armband now for Queensland. Still shocked at the sudden retirement of Greg Inglis, Rabbitohs teammates say they would welcome back James Roberts to replace him.
The Rabbitohs faced up to life without GI today, a teammate and idol.
Coming to South, you were a bit nervous to sort of say hello to him, but he's so down to earth, and he's a wonderful figure of our game.
New South Wales could be on the verge of an Origin dynasty. The retirement of Greg Inglis leaves a huge hole in the Maroons' leadership and experience.
An imposing figure in the Origin arena.
Oh, good shot.
Captaining Queensland inspired Greg Inglis to greatness.
Just around the corner on Prime7, I'll have the weather details, a sneak peek of those, and also we'll have the latest from France, where Paris is waking now to the enormity of the Notre Dame Inferno. But it's time for the latest on the weather. Let's take a look at your maps. Let's kick it off with today's temps. Mid-20s for most of us, 29 at Condo and 21 at Orange. And you know what? Tomorrow is pretty much, well, almost guaranteed to be a carbon copy for those of us old enough to remember carbon. Onshore wind still providing some isolated showers along the coast. Some pretty good falls in some areas today. Again, coastal, not the inland centres. Of course, well, we all need it. We just like a fairer spread. 27 for Tamworth, 29 at Moree, 21 at Orange. And I said the temps that you had today, you'll pretty much get yet again tomorrow. And that is your news for this Tuesday, the 16th of April. It is the day that one of the world's much-loved landmarks was ravaged by fire. Notre Dame, the 850-year-old Catholic cathedral that survived the French Revolution and 2 world wars, has now been left in ruins. Parisians and tourists the world over have expressed their shock and horror at the blaze, which is believed to have been sparked by renovations. The Gothic masterpiece is badly damaged, but French authorities are vowing to rebuild. Stay with Prime7 for news and weather updates right through the evening. And Angela Cox will bring you the latest from just after 11 p.m. But for now, the entire team, it's good night.